Recent data shows there are currently over 4 billion internet users worldwide, and a whopping 48.2% of those users access the internet on their smartphones or on mobile devices. Now, if a company doesn't take mobile users into account, they are then ignoring almost half of their consumer base, which is of course a very silly thing to do from a business standpoint. And this is where responsive logo designs come into play. Today, learn what a responsive logo is, why they're so important, and how you can generate awesome and effective responsive designs as a graphic designer. So I'm going to be dishing out some very important and powerful information in today's video. So let's get stuck right into it. A logo design is considered responsive if it is able to deliver the same experience from a brand, regardless of whether it's logging onto their website from a desktop or a smartphone. Just like a responsive website, a responsive logo can scale to suit the needs of any screen. Now remember, half of the world is surfing the net on their smartphones these days, so an overly detailed and non-scalable logo is going to look like a mess on a smaller screen. As a designer, there are a few intelligent techniques to get around this, which we're going to soon discuss in today's video. But first, think about the whole idea of logo design or brand identity. What is the goal of a brand design? It is a tool that companies utilize to communicate with their consumer and a method for remaining in the minds of the people. And this is done so that people can eventually part with their money. That's pretty much all it is. So with a responsive logo, you can ensure the brand identity is maintained regardless of the consumer's interaction with the company. Responsive logos give the consumer a way to maintain visual consistency in any environment. And as we should all know, consistency is critical to developing a brand and customer loyalty. So now you know what a responsive logo is and why it's important, how can we go ahead making top-of-the-line designs? So here are some crucial tips to keep in mind. It might be a great idea to design several versions of your logo. Once you've landed on the final concept for the client, you can maybe design the logo in 2 to 4 different variations. And this is so that they can be applied in different situations. 2 notorious examples of this are firstly the English Premier League Football Association, which when they rebranded ended up with the logo mark and then several different variations of the logo type. Another good example is Nike and how they can either just use the swoosh logo mark or couple it with the brand name Nike or just their tagline "Just Do It." This means the brand identity is versatile and it can be applied anywhere the brand sees fit. It is important to discuss all of this with your client and to offer the final design in variations of use. This is a hallmark of a very competent and a professional logo designer. Another way to create responsive designs is to simplify. Now, I have read many comments on some of my old videos where designers are disliking the fact that logo design is becoming more and more simple. But here's the thing, guys. I understand where you're coming from and why you feel kind of cheated or disillusioned with the simplification of design. However, your role as a logo designer is not to make art. You are creating visual communication. If the world around us and the way people interact with that visual communication is calling for more simpler designs, then so be it. You shouldn't let your objective emotion get in the way, because at the end of the day, it is what it is, and your opinion or your feelings aren't going to change the reality. So instead of fighting it, understand and master the reality of the situation, and then just make money from it in the process. One easy way to simplify a logo design properly is by examining the brand mark and removing anything that's not necessary. Determine which parts of your logo are most likely to capture customer attention and then remind people of the unique elements of the brand. An example of this would be Kodak. Now, if you notice over the years, they've gone from a very overly complicated and messy layout down through a refinement process until they end up with a single flat symbol. Now, another good tip for creating responsive designs is to implement vertical stacking. Vertical stacking is a common method in graphic design where creative experts want to place more content into a smaller square space. This is opposed to spreading a logo out across a horizontal plane. The idea is to pull everything together into an imaginary box. This is obviously more optimized for smartphones. This is the digital age of transformation, and that means that more companies of all shapes and sizes are going to need to learn how to create responsive logos in the years to come. Some experts actually believe that the majority of browsing customers will just be using their smartphones in the future. That means that responsive logos might become more recognizable than the standard brand marks we see today. Again guys, just revert back to that saying, it is what it is. You either sink or swim in this industry, and the only way to swim is to accept the reality for what it is. Now if you want to learn more about logo design or graphic design, do click a video on screen. Have a great day, and until next time, design your future today. Peace.